As Brendan likes to say, oh, we need an interstitial. I'm not very good in the kitchen. I'm good elsewhere. And then I was, corresponding with Chris Sims last night. And Chris Sims, the former NFL quarterback, he works for Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio. And I said, hey, I hear you're down on Tua. And he sends me a text. He says, yo, DP, great to hear from you. Tua's good, but not what everyone makes him out to be. They're giving him credit for the Alabama machine, saying he's the reason. Again, he's good, but he's not top 10 good. No way, in my opinion, even without injury concerns. Chris Sims then goes on to say, Bama's offense looked good, still rolled with him not in there. They didn't hurt for points. They scored a lot of points versus Auburn and Michigan. Burrow and Herbert in another class in my assessment. Hope all is well. And then he follows up. All people have been fed for a year is Tua, Tua, Tua. If Herbert were at Alabama, they would have been unstoppable. Once again, I have no idea. Here's Chris Sims, who I trust. By the way, Chris Sims was in the minority saying that he loved Lamar Jackson over all the other quarterbacks when they were coming out. He also said, get rid of Blake Bortles. In fact, he's been pretty rough on Blake Bortles. But, I trust Chris Sims. He does this for a living. And I was starting to buy into, let's take a chance on Tua. If I'm the Dolphins, I don't want to stretch myself here. I don't want to make a move to make a move. I don't want to take a quarterback to take a quarterback. If you think Tua is great, then take him. Because he's not for everybody. 3 teams reportedly don't even have him on their draft board because of the medical concerns. I get it. But don't take Justin Herbert just because you don't think Tua is going to be great. Take the guy who fits your system. Take the guy you feel like you can ride with for the next 4 or 5 years. Let's bring in Saquon Barkley, who joins us on loan from the New York Giants. Saquon, good to talk to you again. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Where are you right now?
I am in New Jersey, in my home in New Jersey right now.
Do you have a backyard to work out in?
I have a backyard, have a gym set up downstairs. I've been trying to stay in shape.
And then is somebody there to help work you out? Like, what do you do to stay in shape? What would you normally be doing, and can you do that at home?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate enough to be able to do exactly what I would be doing, which would be going to the facility and working out and doing the workouts there. The only thing I can't do is go to the facility. I have a lot of equipment downstairs in my basement for me to be able to do the workouts. And my teammate Grant Haley, me and him kind of just been going through my trainer's workout from Nike and also the workouts the Giants sent us.
Do you know what the Giants are going to do with their pick in the first round?
No, you know this as much as I know, man.
Wait, this could be an offensive tackle. You have to know more than I do, Saquon.
The way I look at it is, I just try to come to work every single day, right now, which is virtually, and just try to prepare myself as best as I can. And I just want a teammate who's going to come in and kind of have the same mindset, who's ready to work and want to help the team in games.
Yeah, but okay, let me make you the GM just for the moment. Who would you like to bring in? Like, what position would you like to have?
I guess I to be completely honest, and I'm not just, if I was a GM, obviously you go for your team needs.
You need line help.
Day,
you need a tackle. Yeah, right.
I would say we need a lot of positions to help us win games. It's not just only one position that's going to help us turn around. It's going to be a whole drive, and I know the DG and all them guys put a lot of work in, and the decisions that they do make are going to be the right decisions.
Oh, you're saying all the right things. They don't need a quarterback and they don't need a running back with the Giants, but they could use some help elsewhere. What did you think when you saw Christian McCaffrey get paid?
I was happy. Happy. And I know people think happy for myself, but no, I have a good relationship with Christian. He's a heck of a player. Respect a lot of him. 1,000 yards and rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, the third player to ever do that. So for him to become the highest paid running back, it's truly amazing, and I'm truly excited for him.
Yeah, but you're also saying that's where my negotiations start, right?
No, not really, because this is how I just operate with a lot of things, whether it's negotiations, contract, money, awards, anything. I'm a big believer you got to take care of the little things first. So if I come to work every single day, I try to be the best teammate I can be, and the best football player and the best version of myself. And take care of the little stuff. All the big things don't take care of itself.
Yeah, well, once you're negotiating your contract, you're going to say, let's start with what Christian is making, and then we'll add on to that. That's what I'm going to guess. I can handle this for you if you want me to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It'll be good cop, bad cop. You'll be the good cop. Everybody loves you. Great personality. Good teammate. I'll be the bad guy, and I'll go in there and say, we start at that number. We start where Christian McCaffrey left off. And then, the S in Saquon is going to be a dollar sign when I'm done with it. What do you think?
I appreciate that, but I think I got a great team in place right now.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. When did you know? Okay, that's all I do is give, Saquon. When did you know the Giants were going to take you with that number 2 overall pick?
The Cleveland Browns said Roger Goodell went up there and said the Cleveland Browns would select Baker Mayfield. And it's been a couple seconds.
That's when you knew?
Remember. Yep.
Wow. I would have thought that they told you prior to that. Were they concerned you couldn't keep a secret or something?
I don't know. To be completely honest, I was still within the works of being the number 1 draft pick. I know the conversations between Baker, Sam, myself. I was waiting my phone there. I didn't know if it was going to be Cleveland, if it was going to be New York, or who it was going to be. So me and my family were kind of just waiting there for the final ring and for that opportunity to come. And my family and myself saw the ring inside the jersey number, and to be able to come back to where I was born and be able to play and live an hour and some change away from my mom and dad, the house I brought them was at. So. And definitely, you couldn't write up any better than that.
Wait, you thought the Browns were going to take you perhaps number 1 overall?
Yes, that was my mindset. I was going in with, you don't know where we can go. I felt like I did everything that.
But did they tell you that they were going to take you number 1? Did they tell you that they might? Okay. All right. Should they have taken you? Should the Browns have taken you number 1 overall, Saquon?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy in New York. I wouldn't change anything for the world. And obviously, I know the last 2 seasons haven't been the way we would like as a team, but I want to be one of the key factors along with my teammates to help New York and help the Giants get back to the franchise that I know that we are.
Saquon Barkley, that's S with the dollar sign, the Giants running back, joining us on behalf of FedEx.com/coronavirus. Let the audience know what you're doing, how they can get involved.
Yeah, well, first, I want to say a huge out there in the front line helping fight COVID-19. And today I'm here on behalf of FedEx, who's having a major role in the fight against COVID-19. They've been working around the clock to deliver critical medical supplies to the healthcare company, community, delivering over 4 million masks, over 1 million pieces of protective equipment, which is in need right now, and to the frontline workers with the relief. And to keep up to date with the FedEx relief efforts, visit FedEx.com/coronavirus.
Good to talk to you. Be safe and enjoy the draft tonight.
Thank you. Always fun. It's always a pleasure.
That's Saquon Barkley, Giants.
Hey, Dan. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm good, Tom.
Good. 5'11", 175. I've always heard you talk about teams and owners and coaches falling in love with players. I think I have a inside scoop for you. I got a friend of a friend who knows Jimmy Haslam well.
Yeah.
And Daniel Snyder and Jimmy Haslam, I know they're not general managers, but they've been talking very seriously about the love affair that Daniel Snyder has with Odell Beckham Jr., and Jimmy Haslam has that same type love for Chase Young, and they're within one draft pick of making that move.
All right. Tom in Ohio is saying the Browns and the Redskins are close to pulling off a trade. And this is sources close to a source that's close to your source. Is that what you're saying, Tom?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Call back in tomorrow. You can take a victory lap if that happens later on today or tonight, Tom.
Do I get a drum roll too?
Drum roll? If you hit it, hell yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you on the show, and I'm gonna give you. I'll make you a Danette for a day. If it comes through, I will make you. Once we're out of the quarantine, and you pick the Danette you want to replace. They're all replaceable, but you pick the Danette you want to replace. You're a Danette for a day. If the Redskins and Browns pull off a deal, sending Chase Young, the number 2 pick, to the Browns with Odell Beckham involved in this as well.
Fantastic. But the only Danette that you have that's not replaceable is Fritzy, and you know that. You can't do the show without him.
Oh, let's try. Thank you, Tom. That's Tom in Ohio with a scoop. You should let Glazer know. You should let Ian Rappaport know. Shefty. Yeah, Paulie.
You know, Inside Tommy may have a point because Washington is notorious for passing on good players and trading for headaches that are expensive.
Oh, would that be great if that happened? Yes, McLevin.
I so hope that guy is right. How great would that be?
Tom in Ohio. We'll keep an eye on that, Tom. He'll get breaking news drum roll. Absolutely. Make him a Danette for a day. What is the craziest draft rumor you have heard so far, Daniel?
Oh, well, I'd heard this about a week ago. It actually ended up being true because Glazer came out and reported it, but was that Atlanta was trying like crazy to get up to number 2 to get Chase Young, which would have been so far to travel. I just couldn't conceive like what you would have to give up to go all the way up there. You're talking about several first-round picks and would have been a heck of a move there. Obviously, I didn't think it would make any sense for the Redskins to go back to 16, but that one was I admire Dimitroff. Hey, why not? Swing for the fences. Can't say no if you don't ask.
We look at you in the system with the coach, with the results. You're playing in big games, national title games, like all of those things. But are we overinflating somebody without really knowing that we're doing that?
Well, I mean, I could take everything that you just said, and I could go back to the year Deshaun Watson came out, and I could put it in the exact same spot. You know, everybody said the same thing about him. He's playing. Look at all these NFL wide receivers he's playing with. You know, he's in all these primetime games on big stages. There's a lot of guys. You can't penalize them for who they played with. I can just tell you the difference to me between Herbert and Tua is I think that Tua plays with much more urgency. He's much more decisive. He's much more aggressive. Now, and that's not something that changes whether you put on a different helmet or not. So that to me would be the difference between those two guys. Now, Justin Herbert's bigger, stronger, more athletic. I get all of that. He did not play with nearly the talent that Tua did. I told somebody the other day, I think Tua played with the best receiving core we've seen in college football since the Hurricanes in the early 2000s when they had Andre Johnson and Reggie Wayne and all those guys. I mean, it was unbelievable. But that doesn't change the fact that when I watch him, I see somebody that's very twitched up, very urgent, and plays aggressive, which are things I like.
Yeah, but he plays too aggressive, and he needs to understand to take a loss, throw it away. You know, Robert Griffin got into trouble in the pros. You try to take on these guys, extend a play, and that Nick Saban was on yesterday, and he talked about Tua's always trying to make the play, make the big play. That You can't do that in the pros because he's not fast.
I agree with that.
He's not fast.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. And somebody, I was actually talking to Pollock about this last night on the phone, and we were talking about his inability to protect himself. And I said, you know what? He's not nearly the athlete that Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson are, but he needs to watch a lot of their tape just to see how they protect themselves.
That's great.
And giving up 3 or 5 yards is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things here, man. Get down, protect yourself. There's ways even when you throw the football and you're getting heat to be able to fall away from the hit. I mean, people used to make fun of Eli Manning, but last I checked, Eli Manning played a lot of games without missing any for the way he threw the ball when he got under pressure.
It's like when people talk about pitching and throwing, I said, if you want to learn to pitch, watch Greg Maddux. You want to learn to throw, there's a lot of guys who can throw. You want to learn to play the quarterbacking position, I'd have him watch Russell Wilson because I think he's more like Russell Wilson than he is Drew Brees. I mean, Russ extends a play. Drew Brees is a pocket quarterback. He doesn't get out of the pocket. He doesn't extend. If you're watching Tua, he's extending. He runs. He needs to watch Russell Wilson and understand how to protect yourself because that would be the guide. Say, watch him, and you're similar size, and you can see the success that he's had.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you. That's kind of the way I feel. It's just you've got to figure out a way to keep yourself on the field. I think when he stays on the field, I think he's pretty darn good. But that doesn't matter if you can't get out there. So That's the concern. I mean, you're holding your breath when you take him, and you're hoping that you get that kid on the field. But there's risk, no doubt about it. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, McLovin.
You may have to call Adam Schefter and personally apologize. Apparently, our listeners are harassing him to confirm Tom in Ohio's trade rumor. The Redskins and the Browns.
Okay.
He's getting a lot of tweets.
No.
Schefter, look into this.
Okay. Schefter, I'm sorry. We had Tom in Ohio, and Tom was quoting a source, close to a source, who may know Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner. He said, from what he's hearing, this is Tom in Ohio. I don't know his last name, but Tom in Ohio says, the Redskins and the Browns are talking about a trade where the Browns would get Chase Young and the Redskins would get Odell Beckham, and they're also trying to add something else to this trade package. Yes,
Schefter usually doesn't get scooped like that, but man, that's got to be
it's got to hurt
to say the least.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt. If Tom in Ohio, Tom's getting a job. Like the mothership's going to bring him in. We got Chris Mortensen. We got Adam Schefter. Tom in Ohio. We got you covered here.
Let's go live. Tom in Ohio's got breaking news. Tom, what do you have?
Yes, Paul.
I just checked it out. It's Tom Schefter, so we're going to bring in Sheefy to give us the update. Sheefy, what do you have?
Shefty and Sheefty. Yes, Todd.
Is there any attribution on the bottom line of Tom from Ohio?
Not yet. I have not seen anything on the mothership. But I don't know if he was reporting or not. Boy, it'd be great if Tom in Ohio nailed this. It would be. God. Because that's when, these insiders, somebody's going to take credit for this. Hey, I could see this. Sources close to me tell me. And it's Tom in Ohio. You don't have to tell your sources. I mean, guys go on TV and they just say, a source close to me tells me. I don't know who the source is. It could be Tom in Ohio. That could be my source. I could just say, I'm hearing.
God, please let this be right. Please. If there's anything good in the world, Tom will have nailed this.
I will make another T-shirt. It will be Tom in Ohio.
His name is Tom in Ohio?
His name is Tom in Ohio instead of Tom Brady.
The real Tom.
Yes, the real Tom. The more influential Tom. His name is Tom in Ohio. God, that would be so good. Any downside to playing closer to home?
I feel like, there's pros and cons of playing everywhere. Definitely cons of playing at home. Big bros that I've talked to around the league, have already told me, learn how to say no. And, if you want to if I were to be selected by the Redskins, playing at home, it's a lot of, obviously, keep it real, it's a lot of leeches. Of people around that, you don't always run around, and you just got to learn how to say no. So that's one big thing that I've took from all the talks I've had with, just my big brothers who already been through it.
Yeah, that's great advice to give you because you're going to have a hard time saying no. And even, as long as I've been doing this, Chase, and I still see younger players where they get caught in there, they get trapped, and then people go, hey, I want to be on the payroll. Because when you make your money, it's not just your money. You're going to find out you got a lot more friends than you ever thought of.
Definitely. And that's something I feel like I'm prepared for.
Good. You should be. Have you heard any other trade scenarios here?
I mean, I've heard a lot.
Can you tell me?
I've heard, obviously, the Falcons. I've heard the Dolphins might try to trade up. The New York, the Jaguars. So I've heard a few teams that they say might try to trade up, but, that's something that I try not to really pay too much attention to. I feel like, what's going to happen is going to happen.
But how many teams have you spoken to?
I know at the Combine, I know I had 5 interviews, and after that, I talked to Detroit and Washington.
All right, here we go.
Never forget.
The Bengals will select and keep Joe Burrow. I don't have any doubts. Bengals will take him, and they will keep him. Justin Herbert will be drafted by the Chargers. Tua Tagovailoa will be drafted by the Dolphins. Jordan Love will be drafted by the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh, saucy.
Not first-round pick. Anybody else? McLevin, what do you think?
I'm lockstep and sync with you. Herbert to the Chargers, Jordan Love to the Bucks at 45 or the Colts at 44.
Oh, okay.
Tua to the Dolphins at 26 or the Saints at 24. Just because you've talked me out of Tua. How could you have him going so high?
I didn't talk you out of it. Chris Sims talked me out of it, and then I talked you out of it.
Yeah, I think if he falls in that Patriots Saints, I don't think the Patriots will take him, but he could go in the 20s. There's a lot of mock drafters are saying now.
Yeah, Seton.
If the injuries are bad.
Yes, Seton.
How about Herbert going before Tua and also to the Dolphins?
Yeah. Well, it feels like it's either or with those two guys. If I said that Tua is going to be in the top 6, or you got the rest of the draft, everybody believed that he's going to be a top 6 pick. Yeah, McLevin.
No, because of the injuries and the fact that he can't go to the buildings to talk to doctors. That's the only. But I've also read, is there a potential for a slide where there's no need after 6? People have been saying that, writing that.
Yes, but I go back to what my source said. He thought Tua could go 3 or 23. And you're going to have these teams that are going to pass on him. I mean, you'll pass on him because do you want to use, if you're Carolina, do you want to use your first-round pick on Tua when you just brought in Teddy Bridgewater? Jacksonville I get, because you didn't spend anything for Gardner Minshew. And if you can have Gardner Minshew play and then have Tua come in and compete for the job, give him a year to sit out, I understand that. The Raiders, does he fit their system? You already have 2 quarterbacks. Probably not. The Saints have Taysom Hill, quarterback in waiting. Would they then take, Tua if he was there? Would the Patriots take? I don't know. I think there's a very real chance that he starts to slip if he doesn't go to the Chargers. Yeah, McLevin.
Why'd you say Jordan Love 2nd round?
Well, no, I don't know when he's going to be taken, but I wouldn't use that first-round draft pick on him. I just think if they could get Jalen Hurts, I would take Jalen Hurts. If I'm a team and I can get him a 2nd or 3rd round, Jalen Hurts to me is fascinating. He really, really intrigues me. Out of all the quarterbacks, just the mystery surrounding him. Because I like him. I think how he handled Alabama was classy. Went to Oklahoma, played extremely well. And that would be somebody I'd look at and go, let me take a chance on him as a 3rd-round pick, 2nd-round pick maybe. Yeah, Todd.
Jordan Love going to the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, just because you got Taysom Hill there, and I know he's 30, but I just don't know if that would, and maybe you have 3 guys on the roster, I don't know, at that position, because Taysom Hill is sort of that Swiss Army knife there, but I don't know. I don't see it that way. Yeah, McLevin.
Yeah, I can't. Taysom Hill's 30 already.
Yeah, I think he is 30. Yeah.
Yeah, but what about Jordan Love there too? Has been talked about, and also if Tua, how about Tua there? If they trade up a little bit as a project.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We could have speculation about the entire first round, and it's kind of silly. Yeah, Paulie.
I'll go Burrow to the Bengals, Herbert to the Chargers. Tua, I think, is going to go to Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville will trade up a couple spots and get him. Jordan Love, Vegas with their second pick of the first round will take Jordan Love. Saucy.
Okay. Well, they just brought in Mariota and you got Carr, although I think those are Band-Aid quarterbacks right now, it feels like, with John Gruden. So I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure with what John Gruden would do. Mail time. This is to Dan and the Danettes. A little Dos Hombres can go a long way to curb loneliness and boredom. It is proven to make you better looking. Cheers, Bryan Cranston. Let's see what he's doing with his tequila. Well, no, it's a mezcal, not a tequila. Scold me. Any Danette in here gets a bottle, and there's only one Danette in here. And this is Dos Hombres. Bryan Cranston's autograph and Aaron Paul's autograph.
Goes well with the draft. Oh.
Yeah, I got these bottles, but I don't have any other Danettes in here. That's a shame.
Bottle number 84.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
I got bottle number...
Bottom right corner.
Yeah, 2,000... I don't know if it's 2,297.
I think yours is like 7,097. I got 80.
Yeah, because that... Well, I don't know. Which one's better? The one that they...
Do you want old?
Yeah, I like having an older bottle.
30.
Yeah, because that one's aged a little more.
A lime? We have a little lime going? Thank you.
15
That's
to the open.
867. I don't know why it matters with the numbers, but I'm into numerology. It's 263.
5 seconds.
I gotta go back on the air. We're not gonna crack this until after the show.
We are in the open.
296. That's Alan in there who's telling me we're in the open. I got more important things to do. Looking through the mezcal.
I'll take one of those mezcal.
All right. Here I go. Just got a shipment in of mezcal from Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston. And I said, if you're Danette here in the studio, you get a bottle. And I'll be damned. There's only Paulie here, so that's more for Paulie. Sorry, Seton.
Yeah, well, yeah, the other two Danettes don't even drink, so it's really just...
Yeah. I'll try to save you a bottle of this mezcal, but I don't know the next time I'm going to see you in person, Seton. I just don't know. Go around the room, what we learned. Todd, start with you.
You would grab Jalen Hurts if you had the opportunity to do so.
And McLovin?
There's a movement to have his name is Tom in Ohio shirts.
If he gets this trade right, then he will get one. Yes, Seton.
It was the birth of a legend today.
Tom in Ohio. Paulie?
Chase is a great name for a guy who goes after quarterbacks for a living.
Yeah, it's like a commissioner whose last name is Stern. What we learned brought to you by LegalZoom makes it easy to set up the right estate plan without leaving your home. Take care of your family today with the right estate plan at LegalZoom.com. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the festivities. Talk to you tomorrow.